Ceia's Tiny Terrors, a micro-series of tales of the macabre. It's me again. Welcome back to another episode of Ceia's Tiny Terrors. I hope you all have had a great week. I'll keep this brief. I want to thank all of my listeners around the world for tuning in. Can you tune into a podcast? Regardless, you have my sincerest gratitude. Now for our story. There's Nothing Wrong with Apartment 8A, Part 2. We all resigned ourselves to the daily horror of the Bush's ways, trading off who would be the one to clean up that day's gift. My predecessor warned me about the plant just like his did before him. It was just another fact of life. Grass is green, skies are blue. That bush has a demon in it that craves pain. That was until she came. A short, stout woman, maybe 5 feet in shoes, with a thick accent. Her skin was like aged tobacco leaves, and she walked slow and quiet into the front office, an obese black cat under her arm. We could never remember where she was from, but we were sure she told us. Things were just like that with Madame Alexis. They slipped the mind no matter how much she tried to remember. And yes, that's the only thing we could call her. She practically demanded to rent 8A. One look at that fur-covered meatball she carted around, and all of us were begging her to reconsider. She would not take heed and paid 6 months in advance. Even a call to the owners couldn't stop her. When all came to agreement, she moved in immediately. We watched her as she oversaw the moving company. Her eyes were always locked on the front door. We figured out that she was watching the bush. It slyly stabbed and scraped at the movers, making them curse under their breath and check to find blood on their coveralls. The more it worked, the more she nodded. Once everything was moved in, she marched right past it, and I think I saw it tremble with excitement at the size of the cat. I could only shake my head and go home, preparing myself for the next morning's gift. I arrived back at the complex to a crowd of shocked onlookers blocking my view of 8A. I thought they'd be used to an animal mutilation by now, but then I heard the shouting in what I later learned was Haitian Creole. Madame Alexis was standing over the bush, pouring a gray slime on it as it visibly and audibly retched and writhed. She did it slowly, like she was putting syrup on a pancake in a commercial. It writhed in tortured agony. I think I heard it cry mercy. I'm very sure it sobbed. She smiled the whole time and never stopped pouring, even as it tried to uproot itself, even as it broke off its own branches in an attempt to dodge the liquid, even as the horned being tried to burst free from the roots. Bind you to it. Don't run now. I bind you to it, don't I? She laughed gleefully. The demon locked eyes with me. I'd never seen such pain. A gnarled hand broke free from the plant long enough to reach for me. It pleaded with me to free it, end it, stop her, do anything in a language I would never know but somehow could comprehend. I had to break free from the crowd. I took 2 steps, vomited, then passed out right next to my puke. The rest of the residents picked me up and cleaned me off. By the time I was awake, the bush was deathly still. It didn't feel fine or normal. Coming anywhere near it felt like a corpse. A luscious, green, leafy corpse that had been pruned to perfection. We all felt it, and now avoided it for completely different reasons than before. No, There's nothing wrong with apartment 8A, but the woman who lives there scares the shit out of me. This work is copyright 2022 by Ceia Rights Media. All rights reserved. No duplication or reproduction of this work is permitted without the written consent of Ceia Rights Media.